Oh, okay.
Okay, we can begin by, if you give me your full name.
Now, my full name is Lloyd Hatcher Sanders, Jr.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
March 20, 1932.
1932. And what branch of service did you serve in?
Army.
You were in the Army. And in a particular area, infantry?
Engineers.
You're engineers, combat engineers. And what was the highest rank you achieved?
Probably first class.
Okay. And the date, well, today's date is February the 11th, 2009, and this is the Southfield Public Library where we're doing the recording. My name is Felix L. Selden, and you are a friend of mine, and we have Ethel Grossman, who will be here witnessing your interview. And of course, this interview is being conducted for the Veterans History Project. As you know, we're trying to get as many veterans to sign on to this program as possible to record their stories within the military, while they served in the military. Where were you born?
Where?
Yes, where were you born?
Detroit.
Detroit?
Right.
What part of Detroit?
On the west side of Detroit.
West side of Detroit?
As a matter of fact, I was born on a street called Whitewood.
Whitewood. And what schools did you attend?
I attended Sampson for 1 year, then we moved to Scotland Avenue, and I attended Wingert School after that, then McMichael, then a brief stay at Northwestern.
Okay. And of course, how many you were from a large family, Lloyd, or?
Four boys, 4 girls.
4 boys, 4 girls, huh? Mm-hmm. And what was the occupation of your father or your mother?
My father was a customs officer. My mother was a employee clerk for the city of Detroit.
Mm-hmm. And how many? You say you had 4? How many brothers and sisters? You say?
There were 4 of each. 4 boys, 4 girls.
4 boys, 4 girls. Okay. What were you doing, Lloyd, before you entered the service?
I was working at DeSoto, a division of the Christ Corporation.
What were you doing?
Just a machine operator.
And about how old were you at that time?
18 to 20, and then I was drafted.
And you were drafted. Okay. Do you have any other family members that served in the military?
All my brothers served in the military.
They did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us what wars they were in, or what were they?
They were after me because they're younger, so they had to be. My next youngest brother is 5 years younger than me, so I imagine he would have been in the war.
Peacetime or?
No, it wasn't peacetime. It was the Vietnam War.
Oh, Vietnam War.
Right. Mm-hmm. But none of my brothers ever saw combat. The one next to me was stationed in I think Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
And what was his name?
Matthew.
Okay.
And my brother James was in special service in a band in Germany.
Okay.
And then my youngest brother Joseph, he was in down in the islands, the Dominican Republic. So none of us ever were in combat.
Dominican Republic. About what year was he there in Dominican Republic? And was he there, was the 82nd Airborne, or?
No, because Joe at that time had gone to Seattle, Washington with my brother Matthew. Matthew got a job out there working for the government. So Joe went out there and he was drafted from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So no, he did. I think he took his basic training in California.
But I mean, Dominican Republic. Now they did have a little fracas down there. The 82nd Airborne went into the.
I don't think he was there during that time.
During that time,
right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How did you say you were drafted into the service?
Correct.
Okay. Where were you inducted into the service?
Where?
Where, yes.
Detroit. Fort Wayne?
Fort Wayne?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And did you leave directly from Fort Wayne after being inducted, or did you come back home or for a short time?
After I got inducted, I think we left directly, because I remember you saying if you step over this line, that's it. If you're drafted, it doesn't make really difference whether you step over the line or not. Then from there we went to Fort Custer.
Fort Custer?
Yes.
How did you get to Fort Custer, by train or?
I'm pretty sure it's by train.
Okay.
Then from Fort Custer, I went to Fort Leonard Wood.
How long were you at Fort Custer?
Not very long, maybe a couple, 3 days, I believe. That's been 54 years ago. Yeah, I think it was just a few days.
And you said from Fort Wayne, you went to Fort Custer, from where to?
To Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
And how'd you go by? How did you travel?
I'm pretty sure I went by train.
Okay. Okay. And when you got there, what did you do once you arrived?
Oh, once we got to Fort Wayne, not Fort Wayne, but Fort Leonard Wood. That's where I entered basic training, and I stayed there for 16 weeks. First 8 weeks of infantry, second 8 weeks of combat engineering. And there, but once basic training was done, I came home.
You got to leave.
Got to leave.
For how long, roughly?
I don't really remember. It was maybe a week or so. And then I went to, I think it was Fort Dix,
New Jersey.
New Jersey, and then we took a ship and went. Took us 10 days across the ocean, and we went to Bremerhaven, Germany. Went up through the North Sea up to Bremerhaven, Germany.
Backing up a little bit from Fort, you said Fort Bragg. Where? What was this Fort?
Fort Dix in New Jersey.
No, Fort Leonard Wood. Fort Leonard Wood.
Right.
When you received your secondary training, combat engineer, you're saying?
Yes.
What were you trained to do?
Build bridges, basically. I remember building a Bailey Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Any other specialized things you were trained to do there?
No. Just a combat engineer building whatever was needed to be built.
Okay.
All right.
And then you left Fort Leonard Wood, you went up to Fort Dix, you say?
Right.
All right, what mode of transportation?
Train. Because the reason I remember going from Detroit to New Jersey, because I went through Philadelphia and went by Scheid Park. And I knew a guy from Philadelphia that I met in later years, and I asked him about Scheid Park, and he said he'd never heard of it. Because it was torn out, man, before he was born, and a new stadium built, so that's why he didn't know. But I remember going by Scheid Park.
What did you think about the training you received at Fort Leonard? Was it pretty difficult? Or did you dig foxholes and do?
Oh yeah, we did. I didn't have really a problem. I thought we had a lot of fun there. To me, because I didn't have a problem with being disciplined. So you just did what you were told. So it was just, like I say, a good time for me.
What did you do in your weekends?
I only went to town once during the time I was at Fort Leonard, and I don't really remember why. I was in an area I was not familiar with. So I went to a small town called Waynesville, and I remember taking some civilian clothes there. And at that time, the styles were velvet ties. Men were wearing velvet ties. So when I took them to this cleaners, this lady, looked at the ties and said, "Oh, some ladies' dress belts." That's what she thought they were. I said, well, okay. So that's one thing I really remember about going to Waynesville, Missouri. It's a very small town.
When you were there at Fort Leonard, did you go to the exchange and was there a club there that you could attend while you were there in basic training? To drink the 3.2 beer and all this good stuff, or you did that?
I really don't remember going to each time to this. I think they call them service clubs.
Service club.
I remember going to service clubs too much in Fort Leonard Wood. We kind of just hung out together. And I don't know if you remember a guy that grew up on the West Side named Carl Owens. Carl was an artist, and see, when I was in basic, myself.